All right, this is skills homework 1-5. Don't forget that for each problem, it's 3 points for the correct answer and 2 points for showing your work. All right, on this, we are changing the mixed numbers to improper fractions. So I know last year y'all learned it was called popcorn. If that means something to you, if it doesn't, that's fine, ignore it. But so we're going to multiply. We're going to start with the denominator and multiply the denominator and the whole number together. So that would be 6 times 3. And then we add the numerator, so plus 2. So we have 3 times 6, or 6 times 3, plus 2. That's going to give you 18 plus 2 is 20. And your denominator is going to stay the same each time. So 20 over 3 is your answer. Okay, we're not simplifying, because if you simplified, you would get back to 6 2/3, which is what you started with. So on the next one, so we're going to multiply and then add up top. So 5 times 1, and then we're going to add the 4. So 5 times 1 is 5, plus 4 would be 9. Denominator stays the same. Okay, all right, on the back. Same thing, you got to show your work, 2 points for each, or 3 points for each correct answer and 2 points for your work. All right, number 16. The table shows the fees that David charges for yard work. How much money does David charge for yard work that takes him 4.5 hours, or 4.5 hours? Okay, well, this is going up by 2 every time. So you have a couple of options. You could figure out what 5 would be, because it would be halfway between here. And then figure out what 4.5 would be, because that would be halfway between 4 and 5. Okay, that's one option. Another option is figure out how much he charges for 1 hour. So you know how much he charges for 2, so find out how much he charges for 1 hour, and then multiply that by 4.5. So those are your two options. So you could figure out how much he charges for 1 hour, and then whatever you get as your answer here, this would be per hour, and you want 4.5 hours. So multiply that answer by 4.5. Okay. All right, number 17, sorry. A falcon flies 320 kilometers per hour. A goose flies 142 kilometers per hour. Suppose a falcon and a goose each fly for 6 hours. How many more kilometers will the falcon fly? Okay, so again, a couple options. You can either find how much the falcon flies in 6 hours and find how much the goose flies in 6 hours and then subtract to find their difference. Or you could find how much more the falcon flies than the goose per hour. So find how much more it flies per hour. And then we want to know how many kilometers it flies in the whole how many more kilometers it flies in 6 hours. So you could then take that answer and multiply it by 6. Okay, number 18. A triangle includes angles that measure 31 degrees and 67 degrees. What is the measure of the third angle in degrees? Okay, you got to remember that all 3 angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So this one plus something else gives you 180. So subtract those from the 180 to figure out what your missing one is. Okay, number 19. Last year, the tree in Pedro's front yard was 5.6 feet tall. This year, the tree is 2 feet less than the height of Pedro's house. The house is 17 feet tall. How tall is the tree in feet? Okay, this year, the tree is 2 feet less than the house. So think about it. It tells you what the house is. And this year, the tree is 2 feet less than the house. So some of that information isn't really needed. You just want to know it's 2 feet less than the house. And it tells you what his house is. Okay, number 20. Sienna makes $10.50 per hour. Leo makes $7.50 per hour. They both work 8.5 hours. How much more money did Sienna earn? Okay, that means in the whole 8.5 hours. So again, kind of like this problem over here, you could find how much Sienna makes in 8.5 hours and how much Leo makes in 8.5 hours, and then subtract to find their difference. Or, since it just says how much more did Sienna earn, you could find the difference to start with. Find the difference to start with, and that's per hour. You want to know how much it would be in 8.5 hours. So you could then just multiply those together. Okay, don't forget, if you want to turn it in early, you get 5 bonus points. And if you want to turn it in early and ask me to check it and see which ones you have wrong, then I will do that. But you got to turn it in early to get that. Good luck.